Hey, I'm trying to stray away from invalidating how I'm feeling about my life and my current situation right now. I'm like super fucking lucky, but I think like one thing I noticed about myself earlier on today is that I feel like I credit everything I've ever gotten or everything I do to luck. Like, I was born into a really fortunate situation. My parents worked super hard to give me and my siblings an amazing childhood. And I grew up with all of these privileges that a lot of kids don't have. And I went to great schools and I ended up at a really high quality college. And I have great friends and I have a job and I have music and I have all of these different things. But I feel like I have this ongoing thing where I can never credit any of my accomplishments to me. I like always credit them to luck. Like I find myself after I get a job or after I accomplish something, I just think I find myself saying over, yeah, I'm so lucky. It was so lucky. Like, yeah, I'm so lucky. And I have some great people in my life, like my best friends and my family who, will say like, look how hard you worked for this thing. You did this thing and it got you there. But I never quite feel like it. Like it always just feels like I got lucky. And a lot of the time that's a good thing because it's like, it's created this kind of way of going about life where I feel like the universe is on my side. Like someone is on my side, And like I feel like I can talk to the universe and ask for certain things and they can come my way. And that's really fucking cool. It allows me to express gratitude because if you just feel like you're lucky enough to have everything in your life, you're going to be grateful. And when you're grateful, you're happier. At the same time, by attributing everything I have to luck and circumstances, I negate all of the work that I've done to get where I am. Like, I didn't magically end up at Vanderbilt. Yes, I grew up in a great area and I went to schools that had a lot of like supportive programs for college applications and stuff like that. I still had to go through the admissions office and like there's a reason I'm here. Even my job now, I feel like was off of pure luck and not hard work. And it's like, why? Because it isn't like some IB thing that I was pulling all-nighters for 6 months straight to get like a shitty internship. Like, I don't want that. My friends, I feel like I got super lucky with. And I do feel like there is something really like magical and energetic about the people you end up spending time with and the people who end up in your life. But at the same time, it's like all of my friends that I have, I worked at those relationships and I put myself out there to meet people, But like the center of this issue is that I've realized recently in a lot of ways, I don't actually believe in myself. And kind of similarly to what I was describing, I think in my last podcast, like if you meet me, you probably wouldn't think those things. Like someone actually told me my crush actually told me the other day that I come off as very sure of myself, which is great. I'm great at looking the part, but I think I actually lack confidence in a huge way that's actually very detrimental to my life. And it's like so ridiculous, but like my TikTok For You page right now is like all of these like athlete edits and like videos of people, like some of the most successful people in the world just saying like, I'm going to be the best, I'm going to be the greatest. And it like cuts to them essentially being the best and the greatest and like achieving all of their dreams. And I think about my dad who's so successful, my mom who's so successful, people who I really admire, and they all just undoubtedly above all else believe in themselves and believe that you could throw anything at them and they would fucking excel because they just are that confident in who they are and their capabilities. Or not even their capabilities, but just like their ability to take on challenges and just fucking go, And like, but I think it's kind of like, there's another aspect of it where I feel like I haven't taken on like a proper challenge in my life that's like really, 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 really pushed me, Music got me to a lot of places, but that experience for me and like me playing music was always quite seamless. It was time consuming, but not actually that mentally taxing, at least not as mentally taxing as it could have been. There was obviously moments, but like generally speaking, I was always pretty naturally talented, especially because I grew up in a musical household. So I kind of had a leg up against all the kids who picked up a violin for the first time without their parents really knowing how the music world works or all of that. And I think it just kind of instilled this thing in me where I just expected success to come my way because that's just how things were for me, which sounds good, but it wasn't me expecting success to come my way because I believed in my ability to work hard and strive towards my goals. It was kind of just expecting success, period, with like no real substance there. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Anyway, I already talked about this book in my video, Find Out, which like, by the way, I've been finding out as fuck recently, but we'll get to that. Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. The first few chapters of the book are super focused on his 20s and like the build up to like his most explosive era of his career. And like that man was just fucking living and he believed in himself. And I think of all these different people, like different people who are on YouTube and like Ryan Trahan, Casey Neistat, Emma Chamberlain, like the greats. And like one thing they all have in common is that they literally just believed in themselves. I think I need more of that. Right now, when I'm sitting down to film or edit, it's either to prove myself wrong, that I can do the things I think I'm not capable of, or it's in spite of the fact that I don't think my videos will go anywhere. Because like, this is something that I don't have any outside support in. It's all me. And like, that's way more exciting. At the same time, I feel like the universe has been giving me constant signs to just go and to just do this and to just try. I met one of my favorite YouTubers, Tejas Huller, on the streets of New York City. I was literally walking out of my internship, like the place I was working for my internship, to go buy a birthday card for my best friend. And I made a split-second decision to go back instead of going to buy something else because I just had a gut feeling that I should just like head back to the office. And I'm walking and I see this kid to the right of me and I'm like, why do I recognize him? And then I'm like, holy fucking shit, that's Tejas. And I just turn around and I just go, excuse me, I love your YouTube videos. And it was like such a crazy moment. And it was so cool. And I was just freaking out. I was like, holy shit, that did not just happen. I had spent the summer making videos, but I barely even made any. But I'm making myself feel anxious right now. Basically, I need to start being a little less conservative about how much I think I'm capable of. Let's put it that way. Because I think I've been quite conservative about what I can do. And like, when you actually look at like me and what I've done, you can be like, Emily, you've done so much, whatever. No, this is actually the bare minimum. Like, I actually know I'm capable of so much more than what I've accomplished. And I've been saying that for years. And it just makes you fucking hate yourself when you don't live up to a standard you have in your mind, you know? And it's so easy to feel like I'm behind. Basically, yesterday, I get a text from one of my friends here who's like, oh, sorry, girl. I'm a big fan of Theo Vaughn. I fucking love his podcast so much. And he lives in Nashville. And he, like, goes to the Vanderbilt football games a lot of the time. And he's, like, boys with our QB, whatever. And yesterday, I get a text from one of my friends who's like, oh, my God, I'm literally embarrassed to post this for if, like, anyone from my school sees it. Shut the fuck up, Emily. That's so irrelevant. Okay. Yesterday, I get a text from one of my friends being like, Theo Vaughn is at this restaurant right now, like a restaurant that's like literally a 5-minute drive from me. And I called her and I was like, are you being dead ass? Like, is he actually there? And she's like, no, I'm looking at him right now. Like, he's here. The old me would have been like, oh, that's so cool. But like, what am I going to do? Go to the restaurant and like walk up to him? Who, by the way, he was having dinner with the whole football team. What am I going to do? Go into the restaurant and walk up to him in front of the whole football team and just be like, hey, Theo? No, I can't do that. Ooh, that sounds like a lot. That sounds embarrassing. Basically, I used to be a pussy about putting myself out there. I think a few years back, I wouldn't have been in the mindset to be like, let me just go to the restaurant and just like see if I can just say hi to him. Because like you never know what could happen. Let me just go. I wouldn't have been in that mindset. I was such like a pessimist about life. It was like I was placing myself into a box that didn't exist. And that part of me started talking when she said this, being like, oh, what are you going to do? Walk up to him in the restaurant in front of all these people from your school and like say hi? Like you're going to be bothering him. Everyone's going to be looking at you. It's going to be weird. It's pointless. There'll probably be another moment like this anyway. He lives in Nashville. He's like at Vanderbilt sometimes. Then I was like, Emily, no. That's not how we're living anymore. This YouTube channel is kind of like a documentation of me stepping into myself. Let's call it that. Like that's what the Courage series is all about. It's just about me having the courage to be myself because I used to be such an authentic, proud person, and I've lost that. So, anyway, I was like, Emily, no. This year is about taking risks. Your 20s are about taking risks. And it's not even a risk for me to walk up to this restaurant and start talking to him, okay? Like, any person would do that. It's just the type of thing I would psych myself out about. So, anyway, I used to be a little bit of a loner. I mean, like, actually, I'm kind of still a little bit of a loner. Like, I just want to be pulled towards more people who are interested in like media, making videos, podcasting, the spread of ideas, and just have big ideas and like a wide view of the world and its possibilities. And I think I've been so goddamn sick of this school because everyone here is obsessed with being the same as everyone else. And I thought I got rid of that when I graduated high school. Well, I didn't. And the people that I respect the most are people who resist the urge to be one and the same as the people they're surrounded by. People who aren't afraid of being individualistic, you know? And I think that's why I love a lot of people I find online. 'Cause it's like, these are people who are putting themselves out there. They're trying. There's one clip recently of someone interviewing Addison Rae and being like, what do you think of everyone saying you're trying too hard? And she was like, at least I'm fucking trying at all. And she's so fucking right. How are you going to be looking at Addison Rae, who's like on tour right now with a pop album, saying she's trying too hard? What, you and your beer belly and your 9 to 5? Shut the fuck up. Where am I going with this? Oh, okay. So I met Tejas on the streets of New York City, right? And now I hear that Theo Von is a 5-minute drive from me. It's not even just like, it actually wasn't at all. I mean, like maybe like part of it was about seeing someone in real life who I just love watching their content so much, and I just find them so hilarious and interesting. I feel like these encounters bring me closer to alignment with what I want to do. It's like everyone whose content I consume, everyone who I respect, like all these people, it's like they're like in like a separate different planet or universe. And then I'm like breaking the fourth wall when I like speak with them in real life. It's like a way of showing myself that it's more attainable and tangible than I realize. Theo Von is at a restaurant 5 minutes from me right now. And like he is having dinner with the Vanderbilt football team. And the only reason I know is because my friend is at a date party dinner there. But like, holy fuck. Oh my God. I'm trying to find a partner in crime. Wait. So I was like, I have to go. I literally like, I have to fucking go. And what's the absolute worst that can happen? I walk into the restaurant, I see him in real life, I pussy out, and I leave. At least I saw him. And yes, that is worse than being laughed at by the football team. That's worse. Because at least if I'm being laughed at by the football team, I at least tried. Anyway. So this is definitely something I would usually do like alone. And I literally had an Uber on the way for me to go alone. And then I was like, I need to stop casting myself out. And like, I think like one fear I've also had with like launching this channel and like posting and stuff is that it'll like cast me out of my current like friend groups or like social scene because they don't get it. Like they're not interested in this stuff and maybe even like find it a bit weird or off-putting. Like since I've been to school, I've had 2 or 3-ish people mention my YouTube channel to me. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, so I asked my friend if he wanted to go with me because I was like, Emily, you don't have to do this all alone. And like, you can hear that and be like, it's literally not that deep. Like you asked for your friend for a ride for you to go see Theo Von. It was a 5-minute drive. It is that deep for me because this is something I would usually go on a solo adventure for. But that's like really fucking scary. And it's better to like have people that, if you have people in your life who can like join you on these adventures, why not? Okay. So I'm in the car on the way to see Theo Von. And I don't even know what I'm going to do once I get in the restaurant. I'm like freaking out to my friends and I'm like, guys, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I thought they were going to go in there with me. They're like, no, girl, like we're not going with you into the restaurant. This is solo mission. I was like, fuck me. Okay. So I walk in and I dart for the bathroom because I'm just like, I need to like scope out the place first. And there also was like a bunch of frat guys there. I was like, I'm going to die. I can't do this. So I go to the bathroom and as I'm in there, I hear this girl on the phone with her friend like, guess who I fucking just met? And I was like, okay. Then I walk out and I find my friend who's having dinner there with her boyfriend. And I'm like, guys, like, should I go up to him? Like, I don't know. And they're like, yes. Go. You got to go up to me. This is your moment. They hyped me up. So I was then ready. And I was just like, fuck it. Ripping the Band-Aid off. Just ripping the Band-Aid off. I was thinking about it too. Like, Theo, he's like properly famous. Anyway. So I walk up to them and I just see all these football players look at me like, ah! And they were probably so sick of girls like walking up to Theo at this goddamn dinner. Oh my God. Anyway, so I tap him on the shoulder and he looks over at me in the following way. He goes, he was so nice. Like he was so like chill and nonchalant, calm and peaceful and kind. And like, I obviously started by saying, I really don't want to bother you. Of course I was bothering him. Like he was having dinner with his boys. He was just trying to have a nice night. Like he probably does get recognized all the time in Nashville, but like I felt bad. But also selfishly, I really did just want to say hi because I think what Theo does is so cool. So anyway, I just tap on the shoulder and I say, and he looks over and I say, I really don't want to bother you. I just want to say I'm a huge fan of the podcast. I watch it every week and I really appreciate what you do and keep it up. And he could have been like, thank you, I appreciate it. I'm just going to enjoy my dinner. And I would have been like, period, king. He said, thank you, I really appreciate it. What's your name? I said, I'm Emily. I didn't like, I almost, you know, when people are like, I almost forgot my name. I whenever someone says that, I'm like, how the fuck do you forget your name? I almost forgot my name. But I actually was weirdly calm. Anyway, I said, I'm Emily. Shakes my hand. Theo, nice to meet you. I said, nice to meet you. Walked out of the restaurant. Which, like, now thinking back on it, like, if he somehow did clock me walking into the restaurant because he was facing the door, he saw me walk in, go to the bathroom, tap him on the shoulder, say hi, and walk out. Like, but I doubt he would have even noticed that series of events. Anyway, so that was magical. That's not where the story ends. Today, I'm having lunch with my friend. We're in Kava. We're having a great conversation. I look over at the window for a moment. Who do I see but an oddly familiar man walking alongside the Kava window? I say, ah! That is Connor Wood. He said, who? I said, be right back. Because I was still riding my high of saying hi to Theo Von. I considered not saying anything. I really like, I kind of had like a, do I go outside? Do I not like moment? And then I was like, same thing. I was like, let me just go be adjacent to him and see what happens. So I walk outside and I'm just like, standing next to him and I'm just kind of like and we make eye contact and so I'm like, excuse me. And these things like when they're in the moment, it like feels like so fast and you look back like I don't like you kind of black out. Anyway, I'm just like, he's like has like wired headphones in, of course, and he takes them out and I'm just like, hi, I just wanted to say I love you. I didn't say I'm so sorry, don't want to bother you, because it was just like we're on the street, so like whatever, and it needed to be a quick interaction. So I was just like, hi, I just want to say I really love your podcast. And he was like kind of taken back. I think he was kind of surprised that someone was like stopping him on the street outside of Kava. And he was just like, thank you so much. And I was like, yeah. And then I went back inside. But like my point being that like all of these interactions just like, I don't know. I feel like I'm wanting to make content and wanting to make videos and wanting to do all of this. And the universe is being like, here, bitch. Look, it's real. All of these people like that you look at on the internet, like, look, they are real people. They're in front of you. Here they are. And you can be talking to them. They're right there. You know? That's what I take it as. Nothing in this probably makes sense. And I also realized that like talking videos like this, whatever, like aren't the best for engagement. I don't give a fuck because it's like, I actually do have around 60 subscribers right now. And if anyone who's watching my videos is remotely interested in my personality and my journey and anything like that, maybe they'll like this. And like, as well, I think it's really cool when you look back on YouTubers that you really respect and they have like a talking video where they're sitting down and they're just like, I'm gonna try this out. And it's just like them, the camera, and a dream. Period. Barely any subscribers. And they're just like, hey, like Ryan Tran has a video like that. Emma Chamberlain has a video where she talks about why she's quitting high school. Preston Goes has a video like that. What actually inspired me to sit down and talk right now about how I'm feeling is this video by this guy I've been watching called Brody Saunders, who is like basing his whole YouTube channel off of like finding Ryan Trahan. And he did a sit down video where he was just like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life, but people I respect once didn't know what they were doing with their lives either. And that's kind of cool. And that's exactly how I'm thinking too. And also, after I went home, after meeting Theo Von, well, firstly, I freaked out. Insert video here.
See him. What? I walked out of the restaurant. I was literally shaking. I was literally like, that's what happened.
But I looked up his age because I was just curious. And the guy looks like at most 30, right? He's 45 years old. And he started his career, he started doing comedy stuff at 19. I'm 20. I've been watching him for a while, but he's only becoming like famous in the past few years. That's 25 years later. I could be doing this for the next 25 years of my life. That's the thing too, is you can feel like if you don't have something now or you can't see it next week, you can't see it tomorrow, it's not worth trying for. And like one thing I just have to remind myself of is it's okay if I just make videos and they're not good. Because I would rather be making shitty videos than be making a really great, really well thought out, highly edited video once and every other month, and to not actually, and to be slowing down like my progress on like how good I'm getting at this. You know what I mean? This probably will end up being like a 10-minute podcast because I'm probably going to cut out half the shit I'm saying. I don't know. Even speaking out loud right now, I'm like hearing myself doubt myself. Like someday I want to be on these people's podcasts. Someday I want to have these people on my podcast, you know? And I want to be able to look at Theo Von and be like, we've met before actually. And he's like, Emily Malone. And I'm like, yeah, girl, we've met. And you know what? Why the fuck not? I'm literally going to die one day. I'm literally going to die one day. So why the fuck would I not be doing everything I ever dreamed of? Okay, that probably didn't make any sense. That's it from me.